Hello, Wolf Pups. It's your host, Raytheus, and today we're playing Norco, Chapter 1, Far Away Lights. This is a text-based adventure, and it looks 80s style. So I'll get some nostalgia in here because I'm an 80s kid. So this kind of takes me back. Hopefully it's good. Let's dive into it. Boop boop. You hopped a train to Chicago and onward to the West Coast. You thought you'd never return to Louisiana, that the ghost wouldn't find you hiding along the road. You climbed above the luminous skylines of the vast urban archipelago? And the mountains and forests and weeds that covered fences in the deep night of your waning teenage life. You were angry. You got in fights. You ran from police. You shoplifted small, insignificant things and sold them on the meshwork. You spoke to your brother Alec infrequently, learning of your mother's declining health, her insomnia, her increasingly erratic behavior. You ignored the urgency in his voice, and yet, by and by, you found yourself traveling back seat. You joined the army of the Mesa tribes. Oh god, Mesa tribes. Fighting for control of stolen lands for months. Oh, God. Apparently English is not my strong suit today. For months, you were in the company of renegade androids and fugitives, away from the meshwork, hearing no news of home. You hid in the labyrinthine nuclear tunnels of New Mexico, repairing robots and weaponry. You were called John Connor. No, I'm kidding. You watched Albuquerque burn from the Sandias as the armies of a far-right junta bloodied the parched land. You managed to escape by hiding in the noxious belly of a tank as it crawled east along Interstate 40. At each checkpoint, you breathed slowly into a wet rag, your head pounding, your human comrades vomiting, quietly into the sickening trough that ran beneath. At a motel in Texas, you ran a call home through an encrypted deck. You knew by the tenor of Alec's hello that your mother was already dead. Ouch. You terminated the call, shouldered your bag, and returned to the highway. 5 years had passed, and the ghosts were calling you back home. So you did what you always knew you were going to do. Go back home. To the triangle. Oh, I like the setup. You awake from a delirious dream to find yourself in your childhood bedroom. We already looked, didn't we? Room? This used to be the laundry room. After your brother was born, your mom renovated it so that you could have your own bedroom. Artifacts from your childhood adorn the shelves and walls. Tapes, records, posters, old photographs. Your VX500 flickers beside the telephone. On a shoddy particle board desk, the chill December air drafts through the many cracks and creases of the walls. The chemical glow of the Shield oil refinery softly illuminates the landscape outside the window. The door facing your bed leads directly to the backyard. Is there a reason these are green? No. The door on the opposite wall goes to the living room. Can I touch any of this? Nope. Nope. What's this? Oh, Norco, Louisiana. Move to the living room. Alec's video game consoles collect dust above the antique television. All books from your childhood rest silently upon the bookshelves, as they always have. A family photo sits upon the desk. Behind you, a short hallway leads to your mom's office. Public notices are spread across the dinner table. Your mom, being the obsessive-compulsive person that she was, would have never left stray papers sitting out like that. It suggests that she had grown particularly weak or forgetful before her death, or perhaps died before she ever finished reading them. It is through this detail that you begin to sense the lingering presence of your mother. Hello, Mom? You speak to the empty room. You feel that your mother's ghost stares past you, unable to hear your voice. After a moment, the feeling goes away. The yard? Smoke rises slowly from beyond the train tracks along the refinery skyline. A gentle wind passes from the direction of the lake. The air is cool. Million watches the refinery lights from the tailgate of the truck. Million? His name's Million? What type of name is that? Who named you Million? Oh, you're awake. Oh man, you got a creepy face. I mean, okay. You'll sleep through anything. Worse than your brother, it seems. Sleep through anything? Actually, I do sleep through anything in real life. I was turning over the engine on that bike to test the coils. It was quite noisy. The coils are in good shape now. All we need is a new fuse and we can use it to get around while I finish repairing the truck. I heard the phone ringing while you were asleep, but I had my hands full. Where can we get a fuse for the bike? The gas station just up the road has fuses, but you may have to persuade Watt to let you in. What? Fuses? Haha. The puns. We're expecting a call? Many people have been calling since Kiki died. However, I'm unable to check the voicemail because your mother put a lock on it. Alec knows the code but is rarely around. I wonder where we could be. He's at the bar or the video store if I had to guess. Why would so many people be calling? Mother left behind a lot of loose ends. She was conducting research for a collector in New Orleans, and I sensed that a lot of people would like their hands on that data. Who is this collector? I haven't a clue. There are things Kiki never discussed with me. As the cancer spread, she severed contact with the man. She always had one client or another, all of them very strange people. I never asked questions. I was stupid to take her knowledge for granted. She always kept strange company. That she did. That's what happens when you spend your entire life in her line of work, I suppose. Who exactly would want to see the data? Your mother spent her entire life researching this town. She knew a lot of things about it that no one else did. She mapped the lost villages of Le Branche and the Mumsel graveyard. She knew of many histories that others have forgotten. History has a lot of value in this place. So anyway, I guess that's it. Leave. There's a gas station. We had to walk there? That sucked. So many evenings spent watching the traffic pass in front of this corner store. Little has changed. The neighboring business still sits abandoned. What? Sexnator? What the fuck? Stands near his truck as he does nearly every evening, seething with anger, intent on scaring away customers. A freight-loading android is being repaired over the levee in the mature woods. The streets are quiet and empty. A desolate evening in the neighborhood. And that big android in the distance right here. Walk over to the levee. Robo-hobo. Soon as it came over to the levee, you scared off the damn dog, and I don't know where the hell he might have went. Sorry about that. Rumbo dog. Watch Sexnator grew up with your mom. Apparently he was a pretty hyperactive kid back then. So in that regard, not much has changed. He used to work at this gas station until the new owner replaced him with a digital kiosk. Ouch. Those harsh times, man. Nice truck, though. Since then, he's loitered outside the place in order to drive away business. He's a purveyor of many elaborate conspiracies related to the river parishes, and often includes your mother in his paranoid narratives. Nice eye patch, dude. Wow. Well, look who it is. Always knew I'd see you back here. A lot of your type have been coming back these days, infesting the whole swamp with their cultural Marxism. Can't get a job with your liberal arts degrees. Unemployable. And am I surprised to find that your first stop is this corruption? Of course I'm not. Your mother always wished to be an urban intellectual. She was ashamed of her humble roots. This thing turned pink. I saw it. Like at the corner of my eye. This little reticle thing turned pink. See, you did it again. She instilled her degenerative values in you. Oh, that's harsh. And now here you are, a free market and one in which there is unrestricted competition among men. Men, not robots. Adam Smith could not foresee an age in which mankind would be a slave to craven, homosexual machines. We must be the masters of our destiny, not the idle, emasculated perverts that they wish for us to become. Step not into this den of perversion. It is not too late for you to turn away, to honor the memory of your grandfather. Who else for your knickknacks and string cheese? My mom just died. Of course I know she's supposed to have died. Am I stupid enough to believe it? No, and neither are you, but I understand you must play the part. Your mother is secreted away in one of the towers that rise from the lake Maripaz, protected by the hidden hand of the land syndicate. It would take a most gullible fool to believe otherwise. Your fake tears will not get you access into this vile reptile lair. What is the land syndicate? Is this part of your pithy act? Or are you really just so stupid? The syndicate owns large swaths of land all across this parish. Your mother has been excavating their lands for decades, sometimes illegally, and other times at their request. You surely must be an oblivious and self-absorbed individual to know nothing of this. Or maybe your brain has had at last begun to rot after years of exposure to degenerative ideology. Got those tongue twisters today. Ideologies. But nonetheless, because I have great respect for your grandfather, I will share with you a detail to which even the most cunning patriots of the swamp remain blind. The syndicate has contracted private foreign entities to assemble infrastructure hidden by the transparent shrouds all across the rim of the lake. The schemes take on an alien appearance when mapped alongside Shield Oil's assets. I have conducted extensive investigation into the history of the European colonizers of this land and the Choctaw that come before them. The evolution of this community into a petrochemical manufacturing Goliath was no accident, but was designed centuries ago by a grander power than mankind. The Land Syndicate is of this origin and is seeking to build a device with enormous psychotronic potential. We must foil this enterprise and soon lest all of humanity perish. I'm hungry. What if I got you a caramel crab cake from inside? Caramel crab cake, you say? Savory, and yes, also sweet. It has been a long day, and I am in need of sustenance. Perhaps I will allow you to enter it just this once, on the condition that you deliver me said morsel. But remain vigilant. I have twice seen unusual figures, extraterrestrial in form, enter by way of the rear exit. It is almost certain that they are using the facility to incubate homunculi and dog girls. You're gonna let me in now. Ha 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 ha. I lied, I'm not giving you a caramel crab cake. I'm getting, whatever I needed for the bike. You'd say the inside of the corner store has seen better days. If it hadn't been in a state of complete disrepair your entire life, the disembodied, illuminated head of the kiosk levitates silently at the front of the store. The sort of snacks line the shelves. You suspect they haven't been restocked in some time. A dusty bag of caramel crab cakes hangs limp and deflated at the counter. The fuses are along the back aisle near the rear exit. Rear exit. A assorted of odd instrumentation hides in the obscure light beyond the exit. You can barely make out what appears to be a bulbous form suspended in liquid. Buy? I need that fuse, man. Please wait while I detect your financial account. $1.50 has been deducted from your account. I better see if I can buy his caramel crab cake, otherwise he might try to kill me or something. Seems pretty crazy. $2.77. Holy crap, that's expensive. Has been deducted from your account. Oh well. Oops. My bad. Watt stands expectantly before the door. Well? Here you go, Watt. Oh, how wonderful! Give it, hand it over. That's my caramel crab cake. I earned it by working hard to educate you. Now, did you observe any evidence of strange happenings at the rear of the store? Actually, I did. My student has sharp eyes. Together, perhaps we were able to solve this insidious mystery. Keep your eyes peeled, my young disciple. Something strange is afoot at this establishment. Looks like we can go back home. I'm in the living room. I don't need to go to the living room though. I need to go to the yard. Not again. Backyard. Fuse? Motorcycle? You got the fuse? Good. We'll be able to use the bike to get around town until I'm done with the truck. It concerns me that Alex still hasn't returned. He's been spending a lot of his time at the video store lately. Perhaps we should ride by and look for him. Yeah, let's go. I'm hugging a strange shadow guy. That doesn't seem odd at all. The edge of the world bleeds a yellow that you knew as a child. Airline highway passes beneath your feet. Look. Refinery? The halogen and flames shiver in the distance, haze beyond the cypress groves and strip malls that line the highway. At the outer reaches of the facility is a chaos of fences and wires wound haphazardly through pipeline mecca to form otherworldly sculptures, smoking and articulating into the approaching night. I think perhaps that Watt is not so crazy to interpret this landscape and all of its alluring brutality as part of an ancient and unknowable design. It beams its flaring gaze like a holy place, one belonging to a vagabond species adrift in a dark and treacherous cosmos. Ask. Alec? The year that you left, Alec became uncontrollable. His behavior made Kiki hysterical. After he was expelled from Destrahan, he began running drugs from New Orleans into the parish, making himself many enemies. Put those things behind him after your mother's illness. Now that she's gone, I don't know what to expect. I really should have stuck around. Maybe. I won't apologize for leaving. No one's asking you to. Shield oil. Shield has been expanding steadily since you left. They have bought out residents in Dimes, Good Hope, and Mumsel, maintaining de facto control of the Bachure. Kiki took your grandfather's boat out in the lake to investigate reports of construction along the western shoreline, but was unable to find any evidence of it. What about Watt? Early on in my escape, after you untethered me and I was spending much of my time hiding in your mother's office, Watt would come by the house to ask Kiki suspicious questions. I was convinced that he knew she was harboring me, that his intention was to report us to the robotics division. Thankfully, my fear was never realized. After gaining my waiver of personhood, I began leaving the house more, would often encounter Watt around town. He was as thin-skinned and bombastic then as he is now, and yet, as Kiki put it, on some level, he was perhaps more kind than he wished to be. She believed that, at his core, there is a man too afraid of the world to ever act, and that his convictions are malleable and subject to the slightest influence of his immediate experience. I've seen some evidence of this. If you tickle his ego, he will speak kindly of you, and all those who are like you in appearance, material existence, or creed. But if you insult him, he will advocate for the imprisonment of your kind. Though he's foolish and lacks credibility in this regard, I hazard that his understanding of Norco's history is often less outrageous than it seems. He has shouted many elaborate theories that Kiki, through her research, determined to be a strong reflection of the truth. In that respect, he should not be dismissed or underestimated. And that'll be it for this episode while we travel to whatever destination we're supposed to be traveling through in Louisiana's back roads. Subscribe, join the pack. Till next time, take care.